Howdy, everybody. Life Lesson Friday for March 31st, 2023. And yes, if you follow me and you've followed any of my Life Lesson Fridays, you might notice that I got a new phone and the video works, which is great. Now, what happens when we take a risk? One of the things that popped up on my Facebook feed in my memories was that today was apparently the day in 2016 that I went public with my business. And talk about a risk. Huge risk, right? Going out on a limb, self-employment, and doing it not that like because if you know what I do, I don't have I'm not a franchise. I don't have a big backing of another company that's like I'm falling under, but I'm self-employed, but I've got backing or any of those kind of like if something doesn't work, it falls on me. It's me, and and my wife. She helps with a couple of the things, but um, if something needs to be done, it's me, and there is nobody else, and that's a big risk because either I'm going to do it or I'm not, and either it's going to be successful or it's not, and it's going to be because of me. Um, and so I'm betting on myself, and it's been 7 years, which is it's pretty amazing. I wouldn't have realized that it had been that long, even though I say it. You see it in writing um, that it's been 7 years that I've been doing this, and I'm still here. And as someone that started about the same time that I did with their business, and I saw them at a health fair at the beginning of the year, she said it was really cool that we were still both in business because so many people that started about the same time we did with their businesses are not. And that's sad. And it's the way of life. It's the way of our economy and the way things go. But when you take a risk like I did, you might find the best life in that area of your life that you could possibly imagine. And that's what I've gotten. I've got clients that I have absolutely loved working with and still love working with some of them that haven't, moved on to either, college if in regards to my athletes or have like it in lack of a better word graduated from my nutrition programs and are being successful on their own because I've taught them how to do it. And so it's amazing to me that I get the opportunity to do what I do, and it's all because I took a risk. And as I mentioned, I spoke at a men's breakfast at our church a couple of weeks ago, and I said one of the things you got to do to be successful when you take a risk is be vulnerable with people and tell them what's going on and tell them how difficult it is sometimes, and to open that up so that they if they might be able to help you, they might be able to give you some advice, they might be able to point you to someone else that maybe has been through the same struggles. But if they don't know that you're going through those things, and again, that's another risk, right? To be vulnerable. But one of the things I told them was that my first year, I made $5,000 in revenue, and I lost money on a net profit standpoint. And so you might go, "Whoa, why'd you keep doing that?" Because I was called to do it. It's my purpose. It's what I'm called to do. It's what I'm really good at, and so it's that risk of like there's gonna be downtimes. There's going to be difficulties. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be times where you don't know how you're going to make it through the next day, week, month, year, and if you should continue. And what I can tell you is from what I did is if you're passionate about it and you're gifted at it and it's something that you want to achieve, you keep going for it. And in that same vein, that's why, as some of you that maybe saw on my personal Facebook post earlier in the week, I submitted a entry to a college, top Division I level college track meet to run the 1,500 meters. And that's a big risk because I know that I'm probably going to be in the bottom three people in the race. But if I can beat any of them, then I likely will wind up in the top 100 in my age group in the world. because if I can beat any of them, that means that time is going to be fast enough to be up in that area. Um, from a historical standpoint of what my age group has done in the past. So that's the risk I'm willing to take. Is, it might seem to somebody that, it's embarrassing to get out there and get like beat by some of these kids by 200 meters. Um, but that's all in how you look at it and the risk and what are you wanting to get out of it. And it's, I didn't start this business to make $1 million. I started this business to help people. And so when I only made $5,000 my first year, and I looked at it and I go, is this something I'm going to keep doing? Um, I was helping people, and people were noticing that. And as one of my friends told me, like, dude, you're Waco famous. Um, and I'm like, no, I'm not really, but and they're like, no, you are, because I run into people all the time that say, who's this guy? Who? Tell me about this guy, because they've heard of me. And again, that's not why I started the business. I started the business to help people. But if I can get the word out and help people, whether it makes me money or not, that's what I want to do. And that's part of the risk of self-employment is you may not make money. You may not help people. You may not connect with people. And it may be a struggle. But if you're passionate about something, whether it's career-wise, whether it's a hobby or a pastime or relationships or finances. Now, when you take risks with your finances, make sure you're smart and have somebody else like double check you, because there's some crazy risks out there that you really don't want to take. But there's still the saying or the phrasing or whatever you want to call it that I know we've all heard it, that like, if you take a big risk, that's where you get the big rewards. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes you have the big disappointments. But if you don't take the big risk, you'll never really achieve that big reward. And so all of this whole thing to say, take the big risk. If you feel passionate about it, if you feel led to do it, you feel called to do it, if it's something that is a passion for you, and you talk to some other people about like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. If the feedback is generally positive, then take the risk. It's worth it on the other side. And as my business name is called, go all in. And that's the reason why I call it All In, because I'm all in for helping you with your health. I'm all in for helping you with your nutrition, for helping you with your sports performance. That's what I do. Is I told one of my potential clients who actually signed up as a client this morning when we met, she signed up after that. I said, you call me 24/7. There's only like 4 times or 4 things that I could be doing where I'm not going to answer the phone or answer the text. But if it's outside of one of those 4 things, I'm here for you because I'm your coach and I want to see you successful. And so a lot of people don't understand that and why I would want to do that. But I never feel like I'm working. In the past, I wouldn't say the past 7 years, because the first couple of years I definitely felt like I was working hard to get things established and to get things going. But now, like, I tell people I work all the time and I never feel like I'm working. And that's the truth. Long post. You can tell I'm excited to have my phone because I can talk a little bit more comfortably in these videos. So take the risk. Just go out there and take the risk. Make sure it's a calculated risk. Make sure it's something you're passionate about. But take the risk. The reward on the other side is worth it.